guys? I hope everybody's doing well. Today I was reminded of something so profound, and I wanted to come on here and give you guys a reminder. And so the title of today's video or audio is Give Things Time to Grow. Give things time to grow. So I was recently, as you know, if you've been keeping up, I recently moved and I'm in a whole new area. I'm going to a different school. And for the first 2 weeks of being here, I'm in university right now. For the first 2 weeks of being here, I met a couple people, and honestly, it was really hard for me because at first I thought, how am I going to meet people? How am I going to make friends? In my hometown, I had no luck with relationships. How am I going to come to a place I know nothing about and a place where I know nobody and make friends? But in the first couple of weeks, I actually met a couple people and I started having a really good feeling about it. I was like, you know what? I thought it would be hard for me to make friends, but I'm finally meeting people. And so I was happy about it. But very, very early on, I started seeing red flags. Now, obviously, we're all human, we're all flawed. Nobody's perfect, nobody's going to be perfect, and we cannot expect perfection from other people. But I saw red flags that I just couldn't ignore. These were things that were part of my non-negotiable. And one of my non-negotiables for my friends or people who I'm going to surround myself with is you have to be a person of character. You have to be gentle. You have to be kind, because I'm a person of character and I'm gentle and I'm kind and I want to hang around like-minded people. And so all I've been attracting, or all the people that I've made friends with, I guess, or acquaintanceships with, they're not kind. They make fun of people all the time. One of the girls that I made friends with, she literally steals. Okay, I went to the store with her, and I was just buying things, and she told me her total, and I'm like, that does not sound like that should be your total, because you got way more things than that. And she was like, can I be honest with you? I stole. They don't check the bag. I stole. And I have never in my life seen anything like that. I have never been around people who steal. I don't steal. I've never done that before. So it was just mind-boggling to me, and it was such a red flag. I could not ignore it, because in my mind I'm just thinking, you had the money to pay for that, but instead you chose to steal. And so there was just all these different red flags and so many habits that these people have that I just can't be aligned with. Some of them smoke, some of them drink, a lot of them like to go party. I don't do those things, and I can't be surrounded by those things. My goals are not aligned with those things. And I think it's really important for me to just push in here and say, don't compromise. Do not settle for less than what you deserve. You have the ability to attract somebody who's just like you, who's similar to you, who's even doing better than you. You don't have to settle because you think that's the best you're gonna get. Exactly what you want is exactly what you will get if you do not settle. And so that is with everything, with friendships, with business deals, with school, whatever it is. Don't settle for anything, and don't ignore the red flags. I've tried so hard to ignore the red flags in the name of giving people grace, but these red flags are character flaws. These red flags are not flags, they're actual patterns, habitual patterns that these people cannot break. And I can't afford to be around somebody who steals, because then I'm going to be like, you know what, it's not that big of a deal, and steal. And I know a lot of people think, just because my friend does this doesn't mean I'm going to do it. But I promise you, the more you hang around somebody, the more you start to talk like them, the more you start to think like them, the more you start to operate like them. It's crazy how much the people around us and our environment influences us. And so I was talking to my sister today, and I was talking about how, these friends that I've made, we were splitting textbooks and stuff, and they owed me money. And I was talking to her about how, they got the textbook and everything, but they haven't paid me back. And I was like, I'm kind of afraid, to meet up with them again and ask them for money. I don't like begging people for things that belong to me, but it's just these textbooks are expensive. I have other things I have to buy. They all have the textbooks, so there's no reason why nobody should be giving me the money. We all agreed on this. And so I was telling my sister about it, and she was just like, don't hold these people to such high regard. You've only known them for 2 weeks. It's literally only been 2 weeks. And yes, you've been hanging around them. Yes, you've been talking to them. Yes, they're the main people that you're in contact with. But remember that you've only known these people for 2 weeks. You don't owe them loyalty. You don't owe them friendship. And they don't owe you that either. So if they owe you money, or if they owe you something, they should give it back. And I think that was just such a great reminder, because it was just I was holding these people to such a high regard, like, oh, I don't want to offend them, I don't want to. And she's told me, she's like, they have done nothing for you. You only known them for 2 weeks. And I think a lot of the times we want things to fall into place so quickly, or we want things to just work out, just to flow, when flow also takes time. And that's why I named this episode, Give Things Time to Grow. I think that's what I said, because it's just like, a lot of the times we just want things to work on command and want things to work right away, when that's just simply not the case, and not everything is going to happen just like that. Hey guys, if you've been following up with me, you would know that I've been in a wilderness season, and I've been documenting my season as well as how I overcame it and stepped into my Job blessing. I just came out with an ebook that God led me to create, detailing everything that I went through. Check it out in the link in my bio if you're interested. Love you all. And so she really put it into perspective for me, because I was holding these people to such high regard. Like, they're such noble people. And number one, they're not the type of people that I even want to hang around. And number two, they rightfully owe me that, and that's a red flag in and of itself, because I would want to be friends with somebody who's honest. I would want to be friends with somebody who has integrity. And I would want to be friends with somebody who's considerate. Like, them not giving me money back, knowing that I'm in the exact same position as them and I have a bunch of things to pay for, like, them betting on me forgetting is not someone who's of noble character. That's not a friend that I want to be around. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to make this episode to remind you, like, you need to give things time to grow. And when you give things time to grow, you will start to see, okay, that flower is withering. Okay, that tree cannot stand by its own. Okay, this plant is corrupting my other plants. I can't have this plant in my garden. When you give things time to grow, you see what fits and what doesn't fit. And then you can uproot it if you have to, or you can keep watering it if it's working out for you. But we shouldn't place things in the highest of highest regards. And we really have to put things into perspective. Like, I've really only known these people for 14 days. That's ridiculous. The amount of the amount of the standard that I'm holding them to, like the utmost regard that I'm giving them, and they don't give me this back, and rightfully so, because they don't know me and I really don't know these people. And so when you get those red flags and when you see those things that don't align with who you want to be, you have to take the necessary action, and you can't feel guilty for it. You can't feel guilty for loving yourself more than loving the potential of somebody else who you rarely know. So give things time to grow. Not everything is going to be perfect at the beginning, so you should give grace, but also learn to have enough discernment to know, yeah, this is not for me. This doesn't align with me. That doesn't mean that the person is bad. That doesn't mean that you think you're better than everybody. It just means that in this point and in this season in my life, the way this person is behaving, the way this person acts cannot be around me. It does not align with me, and that is okay.